Turning now to some big news for our CBS family. Listen to this.
I've decided to sign for one more year on the show, and that this will be my last year hosting The Late Late Show.
It's finally happening. The man who once sang with Justin Bieber in the car, charmed audiences on both sides of the Atlantic, and became the golden boy of late-night television, is now watching his reputation crumble. And unlike a scripted punchline, this fall from grace isn't something James can rehearse his way out of. For years, James Corden was everywhere. Hollywood premieres, red carpets, viral carpool karaoke clips with some of the biggest stars in the world.
Blame it on Jesus. Hashtag blessed. They ain't ready for me. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up.
To the casual viewer, he was the lovable Brit who made celebrities sing and laugh in the passenger seat. But to those who worked with him, and increasingly to the general public, a very different picture was forming. One that's now catching up to him. This isn't just a bad PR week. This is years of alleged arrogance, mistreatment, and controversy boiling over. And the internet is eating it up. Corden's rise was meteoric. Back in the UK, he made his name on Gavin and Stacey, which became a national hit. He was funny, relatable, and seemed genuinely grateful for the spotlight. But when he crossed over to the US to host The Late Late Show in 2015, he didn't just adapt, he exploded. Carpool karaoke turned him into a viral machine. Paul McCartney, Will Smith, Justin Bieber, Ed Sheeran. The list of megastars who sang in his passenger seat reads like a Grammy lineup. Clips racked up hundreds of millions of views, turning Corden from that British guy into a global household name. Behind the scenes, CBS adored him. Ratings were solid, advertisers loved the brand-safe, goofy charm, and his Hollywood connections kept the guest list stacked. For a while, it felt like nothing could touch him, but fame can be a dangerous amplifier. And soon, whispers started turning into headlines. Stories began surfacing about James being less than pleasant off camera. Flight attendants claimed he was rude on planes. Waitstaff accused him of being dismissive, even downright hostile in restaurants. One infamous incident at Balthazar, a high-end New York restaurant, became the tipping point. In October 2022, Corden was publicly called out by Keith McNally, the owner of the famous New York restaurant Balthazar. McNally didn't just accuse him of being rude, he called him the most abusive customer in the restaurant's 25-year history. The post detailed multiple incidents, one where Corden allegedly berated staff over a hair in his food, and another where he exploded over an omelet order gone wrong, reportedly yelling at the server. The story went viral. International outlets picked it up. Social media users piled on.
James Corden is finally addressing the ongoing drama surrounding his recent ban from a New York restaurant for alleged abusive behavior. Following a week of intense scrutiny, speculation, and a fair deal of social media backlash, Corden took the time on Monday's episode of The Late Late Show to explain his side and what had happened in his very public dust-up with the owner of famed New York eatery Balthazar.
And McNally's ban on Corden from Balthazar wasn't just a PR stunt, it became a symbolic moment in the conversation about celebrity entitlement. Corden later offered a half-hearted apology on The Late Late Show, but by then the narrative was set. The charming host wasn't so charming off camera.
A rude comment, and it was wrong. It was an unnecessary comment. It was ungracious to the server. I hope I'm allowed in again one day, so when I'm back in New York, I can go there and apologize in person, which is something I will absolutely do.
Adding fuel to the fire, Corden's turn in the 2022 film adaptation of Cinderella as one of the mice was widely mocked, with one particularly infamous clip of him dressed in costume and thrusting at passing cars during a promotional bit going viral for all the wrong reasons. Critics didn't just dislike it, they called it career-damaging cringe. The timing couldn't have been worse. Corden announced he'd be leaving The Late Late Show in 2023 to pursue other projects. But instead of a victory lap, his farewell tour was overshadowed by criticism. Ratings had slipped. The show's once viral bits weren't dominating YouTube the way they used to. And Hollywood, which had once embraced him as a fresh, funny import, seemed a little tired of the act. Directors complained about working with him. Extras on film sets shared stories of him being dismissive. And then came the Cats disaster. Corden's role in the universally panned film didn't just give critics a target, it made him a meme. His jokes about the movie during award shows only fueled the idea that he was willing to throw collaborators under the bus if it made him look good. By this point, the internet had made up its mind. Corden wasn't the charming everyman he sold himself as. He was another celebrity whose ego had outgrown his talent. YouTube videos about James Corden worst moments got millions of views. Reddit AMAs turned into roast sessions anytime his name came up. Even former fans admitted they couldn't look at him the same way. When the Balthazar incident happened, it wasn't just a restaurant squabble. It became a symbol, proof for many that the stories were true. The memes were brutal. Late-night competitors made subtle digs. The fall from grace wasn't happening behind closed doors. It was trending. And let's not forget the moment when Joe Rogan called out James Corden for being fat and not working out.
That's like when James Corden tried that shit with you.
Yes.
It was such an obvious ploy. Oh, you're hurting my feelings,
Yes.
Bill.
Oh, yes.
Fat shaming. First of all, that guy's fat from food. He's not like, oh my
No.
God, he's got a genetic disorder. He's just, that's how guy's obviously not working out and living a good life, eating some nice food,
And
a little plump.
When Corden finally signed off from The Late Late Show, it should have been a triumphant moment. Instead, it felt muted. The emotional send-off segments were overshadowed by conversations about his reputation. And as he transitioned to new projects, the same question kept popping up. Would audiences still show up for James Corden without the safety net of CBS and carpool karaoke? So far, the answer hasn't been great. His new ventures haven't made the same cultural impact. He's still a name, but the enthusiasm is gone. And in Hollywood, enthusiasm is currency. Here's the thing about reputation. Once it's gone, it's almost impossible to get back. James Corden spent years cultivating an image that millions bought into. But the gap between that image and the reality, according to those who've dealt with him, has finally caught up to him. Producers may still hire him, projects may still come his way. But the public's trust, that's a different story. And in today's internet age, public perception is a career lifeline. What we're seeing now is what happens when the curtain gets pulled back. When the person you thought you knew turns out to be someone entirely different. The Balthazar scandal wasn't the beginning, and it wasn't the end. It was the moment the mask slipped just enough for everyone to see what was underneath. Can James Corden recover from this? Maybe. Hollywood loves a redemption arc, but it takes more than a public apology or a tearful interview to rebuild trust. It takes consistency, humility, and a willingness to address the behavior head-on. The problem is, Corden has been here before, facing backlash, promising to change, and then moving on without really addressing it. The internet has a long memory, and this time, they're not so quick to forgive. For now, James Corden's career isn't over, but the version of him that was once untouchable, that's gone. And what's left is a man learning, maybe too late, that karma doesn't care how many celebrities you've sung with. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more of the celebrities' drama and their downfalls. Stay tuned.